Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to part 12 of where I show all my vinyl albums. Now this is actually the 12th cube and we've finished one wall, so this is the one we've finished. And this is the one that we'll go on to next. We're still in the miscellaneous. These two sections are both miscellaneous. So this one starts at N and it finishes with the O's. So first up, Nazareth, greatest hits. I bought this for one song, Bad Bad Boy, which I remember as a kid, absolutely love it. And obviously it has Razmanaz, Love Hurts on it as well. And this Flight Tonight, the Joni Mitchell song. It's not a bad album. Next up we have Ricky Nelson, Live, the Collector series, and I remember buying this because I saw a concert of him way back in the early 90s, or it might have been the late 80s, and he played a lot of these songs and I'd never heard them before, and I went down to the record shop and this is what they had. Now I never realised it was live until I brought it home, even though it does say live on it. I thought it was the studio versions, but it's not bad. It's got Stood Up, Travelling Man, Hello Mary Lou, Garden Party. It's a decent album. Okay, and next is the Neville Brothers and Yellow Moon, and I bought this in 1989 because I heard their version of With God on Our Side, which I think is hauntingly beautiful. The rest of the album is not bad, but With God on Our Side is a standout for me on this. And then we have the New Seekers, and this is New Colours. And I don't think there was any singles off this. They do a version of Roy Wood's Tonight, but I don't think there was actually any singles taken off it. It's okay, I don't mind. The New Seekers have actually got a few of their albums. We'd Like to Teach the World to Sing, which obviously has the big #2 hit, which I absolutely love. It also has a Beg, Steal or Borrow on it as well. And I wonder if there's any other ones. They also do Georgie Girl with Ticket to Ride. Georgie Girl being old Seekers song, but I think that's the only singles. Oh no, they also do Just an Old Fashioned Love Song, which is very good, and also Roy Wood's Songs of Praise as well, which was I think it was auditioned for the Eurovision Song Contest but didn't get through. This is a compilation, Look What They Done to My Song Ma, and it's okay. You'll find this for 10p anywhere. New Seekers are always very cheap, and this is Together, the New Seekers, and this is the one with You Won't Find Another Fool Like Me and I Get a Little Sentimental Over You. It's alright, it's nothing special. The New Seekers, Beg, Steal or Borrow, and I don't even remember getting this. It's obviously a compilation because the Beg, Steal or Borrow single was on the previous album I showed. And this really is all you need, and I love this. This is the New Seekers Gold. It has all the singles from Look What They Done to My Song Ma to Anthem. Well, all the hits anyway. 14 hits. Very, very good album. Harry Nilsson, A Little Touch of Schmielsen in the Night, and this was an add-on to An Order. And then I saw people reviewing this and they were saying it's his worst album, and I have never played it. Too scared to play it. The Notting Hill Billies, I should maybe file this with the Dire Straits stuff, with Martin Knopfler, and this is a really, really good album. I love Railroad Work Song and Feels Like Going Home. It's sort of country, but it's really, really good. In fact, I prefer the songs that aren't sung by Martin Knopfler on this. It's just an excellent album from about 1989, I think. And we get into Gary Numan and Replicas. Well, it's Tubeway Army, but it's filed under Gary Numan. And this is one with May I Disconnect From You on it. Our Friends Electric. It's a very good album, as is his first solo album, The Pleasure Principle, and this is the one with Cars on it, and Complex is on that as well. And now this sleeve is battered, but it's a really good album, and it's Telecom, and this is the one with This Wreckage on it. I always thought Rear Glass was on this, but it's not. But this is possibly his best album. And then you get the jazzy dance with the absolutely brilliant She's Got Claws from 1981. And then I, Assassin, and there was a few singles off this. White Boys and Heroes, Music for Comedians with that brilliant bass line, We Take Mystery to Bed. It's not a bad album. The singles are the highlights though. Warriors from 1983 with the title track was a single, and Sister Surprise. It's okay. It's not brilliant, but it's okay. But this is absolutely fantastic, and this is Exhibition, and it's a double like greatest hits album. Actually, it's only the Beggars Banquet years, and I had this originally on cassette, then I got it in CD, then I got it on a vinyl album, and it's one of the very few albums I've had on all three formats. I don't have a cassette anymore because I dumped them all, but I still do have the CD. And this one here I got very cheap, and it's Radio Heart, and it features Gary Numan and Elton John. I know absolutely nothing about them, and it's very 80s sounding, but it's not a bad album. And we go on to Billy Ocean and Suddenly, and this was very cheap, and this has got Caribbean Queen on it, Loverboy and Suddenly. This must be from about 1984 because I bought the Loverboy single at the time. Orange Juice and Rip It Up with the brilliant Rip It Up single off it. This is a very good album. Not so good is this one here, and I can never remember the name of it. It's another Orange Juice album. I still don't know the name of it. It just says The Orange Juice. Maybe that's just the title of it, but it's not brilliant. Now we're going into an awful lot of Roy Orbison here, so if you're not a Roy Orbison fan, you can nearly stop the video now. Roy Orbison sings Lonely and Blue with Only the Lonely and Blue Angel on it, and I'm Hurting. Possibly his best, the very first album. Roy Orbison Crying with obviously Crying on it, Great Pretender, Love Hurts and Running Scared. Roy Orbison in Dreams with the title track again, and the other big one off this is Blue Bayou. These are all really nice to listen to albums. None of them are overly spectacular. Orbisongs, which I think is a bit of a compilation, I believe. Oh Pretty Woman on it, and Good Night was the other hit single. I think Say You're My Girl was a single as well. Roy Orbison, Oh Pretty Woman. Now maybe this is the compilation one. Yeah, it's got It's Over on it, Candyman, The Crowd, Dream Baby, Distant Drums. I don't remember getting that one actually. Roy Orbison, Big O, and it's very difficult to read this, but Break My Mind was a single off this, I believe, and Reckless Eric covered that on his album from 1980, Big Smash. There is only one Roy Orbison, and this has got Right Away on it, a very country type song, and a reworking of Claudette. Again, they're all very good. Nothing spectacular, but all very good. The Orbison Way and Crawling Back, I think, was a single off this, as was Breaking Up is Breaking My Heart. The classic Roy Orbison, and I'm not too sure which were the hit singles off this. I don't think there was any. Oh, Twinkle Toes I think was a single. Roy Orbison, The Fastest Guitar Alive, and it's a soundtrack album. It's country. It's actually okay. It's not bad actually. Cry Softly Lonely One by Roy Orbison, and that's got the wonderful title track Communication Breakdown and She. This is actually a brand new album which was on sale for £6. I couldn't resist. Hank Williams, The Roy Orbison Way. Yeah, it's alright. It's just a load of Hank Williams songs like Hey Good Looking and You're Cheating Hard. It's not bad. Told you I had a lot of Roy Orbison, and there's plenty to come. Roy Orbison sings Don Gibson. I don't know much about this one. I'll Be a Legend in My Time and Blue Blue Day are probably the two most famous songs off this. Roy Orbison sings, and I'm not too sure any of the songs off this were hits. By this time he wasn't having hits, but again, it's okay. It's a nice enough listen. Roy Orbison, Memphis, and we're in the 70s here now. Memphis, Tennessee. He does a decent job of that, and I actually quite like his version of I Fought the Law. So yeah, decent enough album. Roy Orbison, Milestones, and he does a nice version of You Lay So Easy on My Mind. I Wanna Live was the single. Blue Rain Coming Down was good, and a decent enough but not spectacular version of Sweet Caroline. Good Lord. Roy Orbison, I'm Still in Love with You, and this is, I think, the one, yeah, this is the one that was released in a different cover in the UK. I don't even think this was released at the time in the UK, but Pledging My Love is okay, and the one song I do quite like is Sweet Mama Blue, and I remember him singing that on the Wheel Tappers and Shunters Club with Bernard Manning. Regeneration, I think this is the time he went back to Monument, and it's not a bad album. I'm a Southern Man and No Chain at All are decent. Laminar Flow from 1979, it's okay, and there's one song, Hound Dog Man, that he was playing into the 80s, which is pretty good, but Easy Way Out was the single of this, and it's actually quite disco-y. There's a bit of a disco feel to it. The all-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison, double album, absolutely brilliant with all the big hits from the 60s. Well, Class of 55, and this is Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash, Carl Perkins and Jerry Lee Lewis. It's okay, it's nothing brilliant. Roy Orbison, The Singles Collection 1965 to 1973. This is a really good double album, which is that period is least success. Well, the 70s after 73, where it was his least successful, but it was a bit of a come down from the huge hits he was having in the early 60s. But this is a very, very good album. Roy Orbison, In Dreams, The Greatest Hits, and this is a double album, and these are all re-recordings. And to be quite honest with you, I think they work really, really well. It's a very enjoyable album. Some of the tracks I actually do prefer re-recorded, like I'm Hurtin' and Claudette, I think are really good versions. Roy Orbison, Mystery Girl, and yeah, it's a famous album. You Got It, She's a Mystery to Me, California Blue, really good album. Roy Orbison, King of Hearts, and again this is a very good one. This is a posthumous release with Crying on it, the duet with K.D. Lang, and the big hit was I Drove All Night. Okay, a couple of comps. Roy Orbison, Best Love Standards, one of the very first few Roy Orbison albums I ever bought, and yes, just compilations. Good album, not hits, it's more like LP tracks. And this one, Rare Orbison, I think is really good because this includes lots of B-sides. And there's some songs on here like Paperboy, Here Comes That Song Again, The Actress, are absolutely brilliant. Roy Orbison, Our Love Song, compilation of his love songs. Well, some of his love songs, most of his songs were love songs. And I think lastly, no it's not actually, there's two more Roy Orbison, A Love So Beautiful, and this is with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. It's okay, I played it about 2 times and I haven't gone back to it. Elvis Presley, oh well, they did that for Elvis Presley recordings as well. And this one, Roy Orbison, One of the Lonely Ones, this was originally going to be released in the late 60s, but it was withdrawn and it finally got a release. It must have been about 9 years ago. Well, it was, because it's 2015. Okay, so Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. their debut album, really good album with Messages, Red Flame, White Light and Electricity on it. And this has different covers. This was actually a budget reissue in the mid 80s. I think the original one was an orange cover rather than white. Organisation, OMD, and it was released in a different cover as well, a slightly greyer cover, and this is the one with Enola Gay, their best ever song. Both of those albums are from 1980. Architecture and Morality with the 3 huge hit singles, Joan of Arc, Maid of Orleans and Souvenir, but there's a lot more to it as well, like New Stone Age is great, Georgia's great fun as well, and She's Leaving is a brilliant song. Again, this was released in multiple covers. I know there's definitely a yellow cover. Dazzle Ships, the one that didn't do so well, very experimental, from 1983 with Telegraph and Genetic Engineering, but it's possibly my favourite of all their albums. It's just a really good listen. It's not one that you would take apart and put songs on a tape or a CD. You have to listen to the whole thing at once. Junk Culture, the first really pop one, with Locomotion, Tesla Girls, Never Turn Away and Talking Loud and Clear. It's a good album, as is Crush, which was from 1985, and this has the singles So In Love, A Secret and La Femme Accident on it. This is really pop. This is their catchiest album. An underrated one is a Pacific Age, and this is the one with Forever Live and Die on it, Shame and We Love You. The track Watch Us Fall I love, and the track The Dead Girls really does go back to the early ELO style. The Best of OMD, a really good singles collection released in 1989, I think. Sugar Tax from 1991. This is really OMD Mark II with Pandora's Box and Sailing on the Seven Seas. Call My Name as a single, as was Then You Turn Away. It's a good album actually. This one I even think is better, and it's Liberator, still OMD Mark II, with Stand Above Me, Every Day, Dollar Girl, Absolutely Love, and Dream of Me, based on Love's Theme. Very good album. And the third of Mark II is Universal, and this is not as good, even though it does have Walking on the Milky Way. The Boy from the Chemist Is Here to See You is very pulp like, and the title track itself is a single. But the mother of all compilations for OMD is Souvenir. It's a triple album, and it features all the singles from the very first one, Electricity, right up to a track called Don't Go, which was new for this, but they actually put it on their next album as well, which was released a couple of years later. In fact, it was last year, and it is Bauhaus Staircase, and this too is a very strong album. So we're getting down, not much left. Okay, the Osmonds, Crazy Horses. I love the title track, I really do. It was free. I took it because of the title track. I don't think I've played any of the rest of it. This also was free, and this is the Osmonds Around the World live in concert, and I don't even think I took it out of the sleeve yet. I really must play this because it might be quite good, because look at the track listing, it looks decent enough, although there is Donny and Marie medleys. There's a Stevie Wonder medley, there's a 50s medley. Well, I might keep it on the cover actually and not play it. Okay, and to finish with, we have 5 Gilbert O'Sullivan albums, and this one is himself. And all these albums are extremely cheap. You know, you can get them in charity shops for next to nothing, less than £1 sort of thing. And I do like Gilbert O'Sullivan. His voice at times can annoy me, but he's a very good songwriter. And this one here is Back to Front, and this is the one with Claire on it, I believe. Yeah, again, decent enough album. And this one here is A Stranger in My Own Backyard, and I'm not too sure what's on this. No, don't know any of them at all. So none of the big hits anyway. And this one is I'm a Writer Not a Fighter, and I think this is the one with Get Down on it. And it's got Ooh Ooh Baby on it as well, and Get Down's the last track. And finally on the KTEL label, 20 Golden Grace by Gilbert O'Sullivan, and this actually is a really good album. Okay, so that's my N to O's, and I'll be starting I think on the P's next, because I don't think there's any O's in this next section. So that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have that next video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.